What's up, guys? This podcast is sponsored by Yak Attack. It's yakattack.us. What Yak Attack is the leader in the kayak fishing industry, specializes in kayak fishing rigging solutions. As kayakers themselves, they are tightly integrated in the kayak fishing community and are acutely aware what the sport needs. It all starts with the gear track and or the mighty mount. The gear track comes in all different sizes and colors, and the screwball which attaches to the gear track is what everything attaches to. So you've got your variety of rod holders and your camera mounts for your still cameras and your GoPros. Your light poles with the day flags, then everything that folds into the flags. The fish finder mounts for the depth for the actual batteries, for the transducers, and the displays, all by Yak Attack. And the black pack crate system. All of Yak Attack's gear is made in the USA. A few years ago, Yak Attack set the gold standard in kayak visibility with the VisiCarbon Pro. Fast forward to today, and it remains the most dependable light flag combo in the industry. Its 48-inch deployed height gets the flag and the light up where it can be seen, and the 14-inch collapse length lets you easily stow it away when you're not in use. The high visibility flag doubles as a pouch, which makes it even easier to store and pack away inside the kayak when you need it. The expectant lamp life of 10,000 plus hours with ultra bright, high efficiency LED lights with at least 100 hours of light from the 3 AA batteries that are included. The carbon fiber mast is strong and lightweight, and the narrow profile offers low wind drag. The foam keeps it afloat if it goes into the water, and it also fits in most rod holders. Available with an array of mounting options that fits in all boats and most popular mounts. Don't compromise with safety. Don't compromise with safety. Depend on what tens of thousands of other paddlers trust. There is only one VisiCarbon Pro from Yak Attack. It's yakattack.us. And this podcast is also sponsored by my DVDs, Kayak Kevin at kayakkevin.com. The 3-part Kayak Fishing the Chesapeake Bay DVD series and the Bay Tour. The fishing DVDs are broken up into a trilogy. Number 1 is the intro into our fishery. It has a full year's worth of footage from the more extreme places here around the inshore of the bay, of the lower Chesapeake Bay. The instructional sequels are broken up into 2 pieces, the warm water species and the cold water species. Number 2 is the warm water species, which details the instructional part of the stuff like the rigs and the fishery itself, spanning from the spring reds at the shoals to the summer structure species at the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, flounder, and the sight casting of the reds and the striper in the springtime. Number 3 is a detailed instructional DVD of the wintertime species, just like number 2 is, a very detailed instruction of tautog and the eastern shore striper fishery. The Chesapeake Bay Tour DVD is a 6-week, 600-mile tour of the Chesapeake Bay, all filmed in kind of a Survivor Man style, showing everything I do when I'm on tour, everything I look for, everything that how I do a tour, a long distance tour, I show on this DVD, on the tour DVD. So all 4 of these DVDs are at kayakkevin.com. And Yak Attack at yakattack.us. Come on, Kitty.
We're live?
Yeah, we got 14 people.
14. Do you like the plant sign?
Yeah, I do like that one. Yep.
Okay, now here we go.
Yeah, here we go. We are at Podcast Studio.
This one blurry.
I know, sorry. We are Podcast Studio 1B. Roll that around, make sure I can see that one. Roll that around. We're at Podcast Studio 1B this time. Yeah,
That's right.
There. We're good to go.
We got the kitty.
The kitty.
Welcome to Kitty.
She's not moving.
No, you're no stubborn. She's feeling it. So.
Yeah, she's.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, this is podcast number 41. It's January 4th, 2015. It's just me and Lee, and we're gonna go. Like the main, I guess, object or the topic would have been we're gonna go over the year in review type of thing. We're gonna go over the website. Although we didn't fish a lot together we fished a little bit together, but you know.
Yeah, our schedules changed up a little bit, and
you're gonna have to kind of remember what you fished during those same weeks, because you would go on. We used to be off on Thursdays and Fridays, and now I'm off earlier in the week.
Right.
To work Thursdays and Fridays, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, yeah. It was, okay, so we went tog fishing.
Yeah.
And you went tog fishing, and when I was on Reese's show. Come on, Kat.
she's not aggressive.
And she ain't moving. She's like not.
Yeah,
it ain't happening, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Come on. All right. Going that way.
I don't know. This is. Wait.
All right. So, yeah, we went tog fishing. And what was cool about that for me was watching you guys work. Watching you guys work with the boat. Like, Rick finding it first, right? So we got the depth finders on, and he finds that little bump, that wreck.
Right.
He finds that one piece that's sticking.
I mean, it just
hard.
It came up 25 feet or so.
It was a trip. It was a trip.
Yeah.
So he saw that, and what was cool is how he would almost like flower petal design around it in all directions until it really got a beat on it. So that really put it all together.
We're under attack.
It's going to
also.
be that, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's literally why I posted that thing on Facebook the other day, because this is her seats. She's literally
trying to figure out what's going on here. This is aggravating.
She's trying to jump up on the table.
She's
it's going to happen. This stuff is going to happen. Yeah. So he rotating around, really finding the wreck. And then we, finding the current, and there wasn't a lot of current, so that was weird. It was a little bit when we anchored off, which was fine, because as soon as you dropped the anchor in there, you locked in, which we couldn't get it back out again.
Oh, yeah. Which is crazy, because the next day with Jay, or 2 days later with Jay, we went back, and I'll go into that fishing story. We went back with Jay, but when we went to leave, everybody was trolling around us. There was a lot of trolling going on, not a whole lot of catching. There's a lot of dives going on, like a lot of diving gannets, not packs of them anywhere, but
we saw
singles here and there, not even like what we saw.
Oh, okay.
But, so we tied on the trolling lures. So we sat there, Jay had pulled us really tight up on the anchor, because he thought we were going to roll, and I was like, man, let's troll. He's like, okay, so he tied it off real quick, with almost no scope.
Right.
So we're just tying up the trolling lures. I put 4 Rapalas on. We had to tie the leaders and everything, and then went to pull the anchor up. I'm like, Jay, I untied the knot. I got it wrapped around the cleat, and I'm like, pull forward a little bit. And he pulls forward a little bit, and I just reach down and pull, and it's like I lift the anchor off the bottom, and I'm like, okay. So I just pulled it up and set it in the boat.
So
my anchor. I made the anchor.
The time before, this thing was wedged in. I think it must have got like the back end of it wedged in somehow, because you didn't have any play at all.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Any like give. It was straight. Like, I think
either that or, man, that thing stuck up so far, and we got hung up a couple of times, like 15, 20 feet off the bottom.
Yeah, that was weird.
That rope might have gotten tight around something else, or wedged in something else, and at that point, once the boat moves around a little bit.
Yeah. And we didn't move a whole lot, but cause we stayed in one spot, pretty much one spot, because that drop off that we had was consistent. It was from the front of the boat. There was a point that stuck up, like 15 foot, 20 feet off the bottom, and then if you drop off of that, it would drop down real hard, and then another drop off like midway on the boat. Yeah. And that's why we're all fishing on that side on the picture. But that thing was that was cool. That was really cool. Getting anchored off, and then we started fishing. We didn't catch. It was cool because I think I had a bite. I had a solid bite that was definitely a tall. Right, we were like, okay.
Yeah. It was like on our first or second drop too. It was really actually. It was really soon. Yeah, I think it was your first bait.
We started at the back, and it felt soft like bottom.
Yeah.
Like no structure. We couldn't feel any structure, so we went up to the front of the boat, and that's where we found all that stuff. And I had one that was boom, and I was like, okay, that was a tog. That was a tog. That wasn't anything. That was a tog. And then Rick
caught one.
Yeah. And then I went fucking hot rod there for a little bit. Yeah. I was like on fire. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be like one today. I was like, I was getting another one. I was like, I was gonna be a 1, and then and then Rick ended up really being the one with a 24 incher. And what did it end up with? 9?
No, it was just under 9.
Oh, it wasn't even 9 yet.
Just under 9.
Oh shit. Okay.
Citation 9. It was
9.
just under 9.
Just under 9 pounds. Okay. All right.
But we caught probably
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25, 30.
Yeah.
We caught a bunch of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was fun because the current wasn't bad. We were able to use 6 ounces without flailing out too bad, which is directly vertical. No current.
You could feel the bottom the whole time. I mean, it was.
I think Rick broke one weight off.
Yeah.
Right. That was it. That was the only break off. I think I got snagged a couple times, but it wasn't. That was on the way up. Hooking that piece. But that was So that was good. That was really fun, and it was just fun being out with you guys because I don't get to fish with neither one of you guys that much. Since Rick got the boat so much. And I don't get to fish with you on the days. So we both. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve.
Yeah, because I fish with Rick more than I fish with Kevin now.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
I fish with Rick like a couple times a week.
Yeah.
When when seasons are good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So the next day was New Year's.
And then you guys went. It was
New Year's.
It was blowing that day, and then you guys went the next day with Jay. And,
what was it? The New Year's Day, I think we went. No.
It was blowing New Year's Day because you were supposed to go that day, the next day. We went New Year's Eve, me and you.
Oh yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Me and Jay went Friday, and we went out to the same piece, circled around it a few times. I mean, it was almost like the same anchor
piece.
drop.
Like the same. Yeah.
It was almost like the same anchor drop once we got situated right. We got to dropping off, and the day you and I went out, we caught our limit without a problem. We caught some decent fish. We caught 13, 14, 15 inchers all day long, and 4 16.5 inch or 3 16.5 inch and one like 17.5 incher.
No shit.
Yeah. Out of like 20. I mean, we still probably caught 20.
Right, but and we were catching those 12 and 13 sizes too.
Yeah.
We were catching those, but majority were in the 16 to 18.
Every decent hookup we had, and it was 4 of them, we broke off in the wreck. We lost 7 or 8 sinkers. The current was the same. Yeah, I don't know. It was just
where you were. Just like
and I mean, we would move the anchor a little bit. 5, 6 feet. We didn't want to leave where we were getting a lot of bites.
Yeah, yeah. But
we didn't take out the whole 50 clams. We took out what clams we had left, and it was 21. So we used 29 the day before.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't have green crabs this time. Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, we did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we stopped buying 3 dozen green crabs.
Yeah.
And we burned through 3 dozen green crabs, 21 clams, and then a guy that followed us out hit us up on the radio and asked us how we were doing, and we told him we were catching a few togs, and because we really hadn't caught, for as much bait as we were losing, we hadn't caught that many fish.
Yeah. We went through some bait. We were out, but we were catching fish every time, but we weren't losing a whole lot of baits.
I mean, at one point I was like doing something with one hand and like would catch. I was using a spinning rod too because Rick took my jigging rod tuna fishing.
That's right.
Rick took my tog rod tuna fishing because I use a jigging rod to tog fish with.
Yeah.
So he took that tuna fishing with him for the little black fins. So I took a spinning rod. I was catching them like with one arm, cutting bait with the other one.
Yeah, you sent me a text of that. So I was doing the old one arm, doing another thing, and hooking fish technique.
Yeah, doing something with the other hand, catching and hooking fish. So I mean, we caught some fish, probably like around 20.
Yeah.
But not even the first decent one did we get close to the boat. I mean, I had a real nice one to just the hook plucked out of. I'm pretty sure I just hooked it in front of the teeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice fish.
Yeah.
You mean pull and drag, nice fish. Probably over 20 incher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A good fish.
Yeah.
One probably close to like the one Rick had.
Yeah.
A couple days before.
Yeah, that was so good to watch.
Yeah, that was so much.
Because he's got this weird, like flimsy half.
It's a Lama glass kayak rod, like the original ones that ever came out. It's like I don't know how it was a kayak rod.
It's like 12 feet long.
yeah. I don't know how it was a kayak rod. The butt is crazy, and the cap has come off the end of the butt, so about like an inch of the blank sticks out past the cork.
Yeah, so he's got like raw.
This is the most amazing rod. I've caught giant cobias.
With that thing?
Yeah, I caught like a 52-inch amberjack one day on accident, trying to jig for cobias on the bottom.
It's such a weird bend to it, though.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that
It's
rod.
like a
but it's the
loose-
most. I like every time Rick puts it out, I just look at him and shake my head because I know it's going to hook something crazy, and I hate it. You can't put it in. You can't put it against you.
Yeah.
Like
you
literally.
can't gut it?
Oh no.
No.
No,
I saw it's like a full on.
Yeah, it's the full on rod blank for an inch.
Sticking out of the cork.
Yeah.
'Cause the bug
It's
is-
terrible.
He doesn't have a cap for it?
I don't know.
He's not going
man.
to catch
It's like
fish with that.
the rod. He's had that rod since he flipped the kayak over and bought the boat. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he didn't want to even put a cap on it. Yeah. That thing
I've
was,
caught some of the most epic fish on that stupid rod.
but it's like the togs were doing this to it. It was like this weird, like
yeah, like the,
it was bending. It was like a wave going.
parabolic bend. You know what I mean? Like a.
But it was loose. It was like the whole.
Yeah.
It was a parabolic rod, right? The whole bend, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was looser. Than
Like as
should
if
bend.
you took a pencil and
So it looks like that.
like the bending pencil trick.
So all the 16, 18-inch tog are doing this, and then he's got that, and it's like, whoa.
yeah, and
like,
this thing is just peeling light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
around
nope.
looking at him like just staring. And eventually, I just run to the back of the boat and grab the net.
Yeah. We knew it was one of the netters.
As soon as he turned it around, I mean, for a while he didn't even he hooked it, and it just went where it wanted to go.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, when I hooked my 14-pounder, that's what it did.
Yeah.
I hooked it and it just went, and I was like, oh, okay. I reeled it back out of the wreck, and I got it like a quarter of the way up, and it just went right back down to where it started from.
See, that's the thing. Using that reel that I was using, I think I had it cranked down, and I would have might have broken one off if I had a big one.
I did.
Yeah.
I pulled the hook out of a big one because if you don't hook them behind the teeth, you can have too much drag.
Yeah.
Especially with the thinner hooks, you know, and we use the
What happens is the hook straighten out. Especially, I mean, like you can straighten.
I mean,
out.
I've gotten the hooks back. This hook back came back fine, and it wasn't straightened out. I think just like the spade fish, like I hooked it to the flesh in front of it.
But their lips are so rubbery. It's
But what if it's only a little
if it's
bit?
not right. If it's
You know
not,
what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
And how many have you caught that were just hooked barely in a little bit of the front of the lip? You know what I mean? That were small.
Yeah.
I tend to like find the biggest chunks of green crab in the bucket. You know what I mean? I'll put the biggest pieces of bait down.
Yeah. We were doing sandwiches there for a while.
Yeah,
with the
and
clam.
like I like it actually when we start catching our own and we can put whole ones down, the right size.
Oh yeah.
The bite is different when they eat a whole one.
Right.
They eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your citation was off of a whole one, wasn't it?
No, which one?
Off the kayak, the one on the video, on the DVD. Was that off of? I know one of them you had a whole green crab on one time, didn't you?
Yeah, that might have been a whole green crab.
Yeah. The big one. The
My
citation one.
14-pounder last year came on just a huge chunk of clam in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
And then the one I caught at the bridge came on a blue crab chunk.
Yeah.
That's my favorite bait.
Yeah, mine too.
I would
It's just got more chances.
if I could keep blue crabs alive in the winter, female blue crabs alive, or I could buy them, man, I would use a half of one.
Yeah.
At some of those ocean wrecks.
Did you see that giant dog up in Maryland?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I want.
32 inches? Is that what it was?
35 inches.
Oh.
35 inches. 35.
35 inches in the height of it. Imagine a tall height. I mean,
This thing was crazy.
Tall. Yeah. I was.
Do we want to play with the internet first?
Do we do questions?
We can play with the internet
see what's
first.
going on. We got still got 15 people or something.
All right. People still watching. All right.
Yeah. We got some decent questions on there. Up at the top. Like, you asked about the boat ride, so we talked about the boat ride.
I just.
You're fucking up, Shane.
And Shane, and also I think my man Massini's probably in on it too. How was the boat ride? Oh,
yeah, we talked
he
about
hated the ride out.
Oh, the ride, yeah, that's tough.
the boat ride itself out.
Well, going out, we had swells.
Are we almost there?
Just want to know
At the buoy line, how far are we from there?
Just want to know where we're going.
Yeah.
It was a little rough.
The wind had died out the night before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Fucking swell.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
This isn't like the bay.
No,
this is not like the bay. The wind had died out the night before, and so the swell was still there, but the water was fairly slick. you could see them coming, but yeah,
Yeah.
not. But Rick does not drive very fast.
No,
so,
it doesn't drive fast.
yeah.
It was hard for me to hold on.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to absorb it, so I had to get
Yeah.
my balls on my feet, just to absorb it. The weirdest part was I never got my sea legs out there, right? Just standing, just trying to take pictures.
Yeah, I would laugh at him. It was
seriously like
he
a dog.
Worse pictures from a boat than I do.
It was tough, man. It was tough. It's just because it was moving and it was just tough. So the whole time, even walking around, I had to hold on to something the whole time.
Right.
I could not ever get my sea legs. And it was just the strangest thing. Because I've been on boats before. I've got my sea legs before, but I just did not get it that day.
Right, and it was fairly. I mean,
calm.
especially after we set the anchor, it was literally like less than rocking on.
Yeah, it was dead calm. But the thing was, I think it was the going out there. It was the swells going out. It was the because it was swells going through. But I could dealt with those. But I was just. It really looked like a dog in a car trying to stand up. It was like this the whole time. It was just sketchy. It was really sketchy. It was sketching the whole time. It was funny.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. It was
the ride back in, though, was extremely smooth.
Yeah, because we were with any kind of swells.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind hadn't picked up. It was like a little bit, but wasn't bad. Yeah, that was
the wind was actually a little worse, closer to shore than it was for the first half, until we got inside the buoy line.
Yeah.
It was dead calm out when we lost our anchor at the wreck.
Yeah. That thing was in there, too. It was trying to pull it out with the boat.
Kevin put his New Year's resolution on Facebook.
What, the cobia?
No.
Oh.
Al asked any New Year's resolutions.
Oh. No, I don't do... What?
Not a daily resolution.
Yeah, that was just something...
I want to work towards doing a flag this year.
What do you mean?
I want to literally pull myself up into like the flag.
A physical...
Like a physical...
I tried that at work. My shoulders... I have to figure out where my shoulders hurt doing it. That was where I had an issue. I don't know how to grab. I was trying to do like this, and like both. You
might need to try to start with something with an angle at the top, like a tree branch. That way you can post with this one, and you gotta. Yeah. But I tried it. I tried the other day. But what he's talking about is
like
a human flag.
Yeah, like getting a stop sign pole, grabbing onto it, and sticking straight out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried it the other day. But no, I don't do New Year's resolutions. What I posted up was for those who do New Year's resolutions, because New Year's resolutions are the first ones that fail. Because they're a set, it's this date I'm gonna stop, and most of the time when something's either gonna stop smoking or stop doing something that's a habit, they're not ready to stop you. You have to be ready to stop. So it's
right. It's not really, a day.
Yeah, it's not a day that you do things. It's a day when you go, I'm fed up and it's time and I'm doing it now. That's when that's
right. That's how my whole fitness journey started.
Yeah,
it was like October something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one day I just decided I was over it.
Yeah. But that's what I was posting that for, and that was just like just a reminder for everybody on New Year's. So that was my New Year's post. But the only thing I've got that this year is different. I'm that fucking cobia. I mean, that's the cobia. Reds. I'm permanently chasing from here on out.
That's what it is.
And I just got to get that cobia because I talked about it pretty good on Reese's show. I went off about both of the stories about the piling cobia and the one I lost off of Grandview. And how that became now I have to do it.
Right.
Now the whole thing was I have to do it now. So when that's the only thing I got is that cobia I have to get. And not a 40-incher or nothing like that. I got catches at 50, 60.
Right.
The two that I've lost so far were in that range.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I wasn't excited when it was look at that cobia when we hooked him off the island there. It was just kind of like it's a cobia. Fight was kind of boring anyway.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I was gonna maybe.
And it was on drum tackle, and it was small though.
Yeah, it was real small. Yeah, you're right. If it was
for a drum tackle, that's a small fish. That fish weighed like 15, 16 pounds.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing is the fight that's on there. It's not that I might if I post it up, I'm not gonna post the whole thing because the whole thing is just him doing this right at the boat. Before I can get him really kind of worn out to get him around the leader. So there's a few parts that I'm probably not gonna use the whole fight because it's kind of boring. I'll tell you what I might do next is Damien's piling fight for that 55-inch red. I think I might do that one next.
That's a giant.
It's such a good fight. It's such a hectic, putting his rod down 3 times fight. It's really...
And plus, he'd be holding the rod weird and using the reel.
Yeah, shit, loosening up and, you know.
Yeah, he just...
But the motherfucker pulls it off.
Yeah, he gets it.
It's a really good fight with a giant, with a monster. So I might do that one next, and then work on our bloopers.
Right.
That's what I've got planned up for the videos.
Will Jay Brooks' lost phone ever be found? Yeah, I'm going to catch Jay Brooks' lost phone in the stomach of the next world record tautog.
Mm-hmm.
So now he'll have to be 30 pounds, 29 pounds now, 28.8 this one was, so
That's so big.
29 pounds. So, I mean, a cell phone weighs a little bit. That's going to help me out.
It's gonna help you out. Any more? Any more on there? What was that one?
Shane just sent me a meme.
Oh
The question about the Trident 15.
the Trident 15. Yeah. What's his name? Is that Kyle Griffith? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle Griffith talking about the discontinued Trident 15 promotion kayak. They're going to bring that back. It's going to be not probably next year after next. Bring it back. So that's coming back. They realized that was needed. Not only for a distance boat, for a big guy distance boat. Guys that are over 260 and getting up to that 300 pounder aren't going to fit in a Trident 13 that well, but they are going to fit in a Trident 15. I've got one hanging right next to me here. The one I use for camping. And I'm going to see if they can put a back hatch in it to make it a touring boat, because it's a really good boat for that. But it's coming back. They definitely know it. They need it in the lineup again. Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah.
I didn't particularly care for mine.
Yeah.
It's just too big, and I've never found a boat that big that I like.
It's too big for me unless I have weight in it.
Right.
That's why I only use it for camping.
And I don't weigh down the boat,
No.
and I really don't carry that much gear with me ever.
That's why I don't use it only for camping. I only have gallons of water or my camping gear in it when I'm paddling that thing. Because it
I'm not
sits
like
too
Rick,
high.
I don't feel like buoying around.
It sits too high for me if I don't. It's if I just go out dry with no gear, it sits too high for me, because I only weigh 170, and that's just not enough weight to put that thing down. But it's made for more weight. It's definitely made for more weight. But they definitely realize it needs to be in the lineup, and it's coming back.
A good question about finding a good lightweight paddle for, how to find one and what you like. How to find and what you like, demo days are for that.
Well, no, paddles, the more money you spend, the lighter it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also like, you asked, like,
straight up.
You can't cheap. There's
either
the paddles we use are anywhere between $250 and $400 some dollars.
Yeah, so
anywhere between $250 and $400 and some dollars, depending on.
Any aqua-bound bending branches, you got full carbons. Those are lightest and strongest paddles there is in that range.
And if you're going to be around the structure and stuff, we use the fiberglass.
But still, it's
not as bad as what we thought it would tear up the carbon
just sounds.
It sounds worse, but I still use the fiberglass paddle a lot. You know what I mean? And those are the ones you see with the colored ends.
Yep.
Those are less expensive. They're not the lightest, but they are lighter than any of your it's like anything else. You can buy a recreational level.
Yeah.
And up. I mean, you can start at your economies but the more you spend on a paddle, the lighter it's going to be.
Definitely, and that's definitely the key.
Until you get into those real fancy wood ones, and then some of those are just
those are fancy. Yeah, well, there's a real actually functional paddles, but they aren't.
Right.
Yeah, but absolutely that. So any of the straight carbon paddles.
So if you're trying to not break your bank, watch for people to sell them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just. I can tell you that as big as kayak fishing is, that's probably one of the hottest items. As soon as it hits Craigslist, it's probably going to sell. Yeah. So. It's something you're gonna have to watch, but
the thing about the fiberglass paddles now for me is I've paddled the carbon so much that I can't use the.
I still like the fiberglass.
Well, for one arm paddling, it's too much. Now that I've got all the one arm paddling with the carbon fiber, it's actually too heavy. It wears me out a little bit more. But I love those paddles, and with the different Aquabound has and Bending Branches have the adjustable ferrules. So that's really important with the different height differences of the boats. The high-low seats, you can change the width, the height, or the length of the entire paddles.
Right.
I change it on a daily basis when I'm on my tour boat. When I'm camping, as I'm lightening up, as I'm drinking waters and lightening up my boat, I'll extend the paddles out. So yeah,
because he doesn't, when he drinks water, it doesn't stay in the boat very long.
What were you giggling at?
Oh, so will Shane Hatcher ever be a guest?
We asked him
literally every week.
Yeah,
Shane Hatcher is invited, but
yeah.
Shane says, "Can you just start the game?" This is not what Shane said, but cheating ass Cowboys are about to win. They wanted to start the show earlier because the cheating ass Cowboys were about to win, and they did win. And I don't understand some shit. The NFL really, I don't understand all of this. You get to come back all the time anymore. I just don't understand it really. I know that my team does it a ton. I still don't understand it. Like, this shit never ever happened before, that you like won 10 games a year and 5 of them you were behind in the fourth quarter and came back and won. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, but Shane says that to be a guest we have to meet a lot of requirements. He's talking about needing a reclining chair because his bad back, he can't sit too long. He needs some entrance music. He's already got that picked out, though.
Have that? Okay.
Yeah, he's already got that picked out, but nah, we're going to ixnay that shit. We got something. We're going to find something. He's already got it priced out. And it has to be some kind of epic show.
Epic show? What's the epic show?
Like number 100 or some shit.
Oh, okay. He's got to be on the special shows.
Right.
Right. Yeah. 100 is going to be another year away. We're at 41. This is 41, yeah.
He said he'll waive the guest fee if these demands are met. Oh my god. 3 bottles of berry propel water.
3 what?
Berry propel water. 3 bottles.
Oh, that's in his rider.
Right.
That's in his rider to come on the show.
Right.
Yeah. That's what he has to have. Any legitimate questions on that?
He said Al Avendino has a trendy name. Oh my god. Now they're just talking about the football
Oh, yeah.
game. Yeah, alright. When is the podcast starting?
What's that?
Has Kevin ever hit up Mike Jones on the low?
Yes, what?
That shit he posted on Facebook the other day, that phone number. It's out of a rap song from like where Jay's from in Atlanta. I mean in Texas.
Oh.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, no, I know.
Over my head.
And then...
Is that another picture of you?
Another picture of me podcast from Joe Massini. Thank you for that. Keeping it real.
It's not from this one? You didn't grab it from this one?
Why does Kayak Kevin have a cat? You didn't know he didn't know you was in the USAF, whatever that is.
Air Force? No, sir.
Air Force. That's right. No,
sir,
they have Richie has micro dogs. Same thing. Quite the same thing.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Cats got claws and shit. We're gonna have Beckley on soon.
Yeah, that's why we're here actually.
Yeah, it's kind of just
like while I'm trying to look for something like legitimate to talk about because now we just got like the meme war going on.
Yeah, we're gonna have Beckley. I got a whole list of people, so I'm gonna be hitting a lot of people up on Facebook.
Okay, here we go. So the studio, Joe Massini asked a legit question this time. What is this Studio 1B business? Aren't we in OV? Yes, we are still in OV. But we are back in Studio 1 for when we're going to do the Skype shows and use the computer.
Yeah.
When we're going to have guests, we'll still be at my house doing the show.
Yep.
But we set up the phone line, and so we'll be able to do what you were going into.
Yeah. The Skype stuff is we're going to interview everybody. So I mean, I literally have a list of people I went through Facebook and wrote up a list.
Yeah.
Of
so
a whole bunch of
whatever.
people that I'm going to start contacting, through, because the way I'm kind of thinking of how I want to do it. I want to do 2 interviews per show, right? So we'll try to line them up as close as I can. But we're definitely having Beckley on soon. Going to hit up Irish Jean. Yeah, I mean, this list goes. This is a long list. I mean, all the way. A lot of people that, especially when to get Will on. I haven't seen even talked to him in a while, and he's funny as shit.
Right.
Yeah. So,
oh, Will
yeah.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will Richardson.
He's on that list. He's definitely in the boat.
Yeah, a boot. Fucking Canadian. We got to get him on here.
Yeah,
we got to get as many people from Canada on here as we can. I will literally ask them questions and pester them until they say, "Hey." I did it to a waiter. I went to Canada for dinner, and I literally wouldn't leave until I made this legit. And I didn't even ask him to. I just literally had to talk to him.
Yeah.
Until he said, "Hey," and then I was like, "All right, cool, man.
Good to go." That's
and
all
he's
I
like,
needed.
he like was kind of confused, and I was like, "Yeah, that was like I just had to hear it."
But yeah, so that's the plan, and so we're still going to do interview shows or local guys and that type of show at Lee's house, and we're going to do Skype shows here. Yeah, and yeah. Yep. Crazy memes. All right.
Oh, and Joe Massini is mad because people are stealing his pictures and making memes out of them on my faces because that's his surveillance. Alright.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, cats. I've had cats. I'm a cat. I'm a cat guy. Actually. So.
Oh, what happened to the OK Mana, the one you took on your DVD tour?
It's right there.
Yeah, it's still here.
It's right there.
It's probably the one in existence.
No, I've seen a couple online.
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw a red one online. Yeah, but it's actually still in good condition. It can still ride. I've retired it. My camping boat is now.
It almost killed
15. Him. Yeah, it's got some leaks in it, but it's still rideable. It still can go. It still can go a lot of miles. But my now camping boat is the Trident 15.
I mean, it's
because I can fish out of it.
It's accessible. You can fish out of it.
Look, the cockpit of that
Right.
Mana is tight. I mean, it's just a paddling boat. It's not made for fishing, and it's not comfortable at all to fish out of. I mean,
this thing. I mean, it's a little wider. It was designed to fish, though,
Yeah.
and it's designed to paddle, and
Yep.
so
I can load it in with. Well, I can stay out there for a week and a half with that thing. It's so big. I can load so much water in that thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's where the Manta is. All right, we're gonna do a year review. How long have we been on already? Another half hour just talking about what's going on. Yeah. All right. So yeah, this year started late because of the spring. It was a weird spring.
yeah,
Right. It was a spring that started late. Like usually we'd start going over there and the waters will start warming up around April. But it really it started about a month late, right? The temperatures didn't get into 60 until about May.
Right.
But so, I was going over there paddling a lot. So I was what I call April training. So I was going over a lot, just going camping out, and it was cold. That day was cold. I woke up that day, I had a full like I was covered up with my sleeping bag, and it was crazy cold that day. But I was just paddling around, and then finally got one. That was like my first one was a 50-incher this year.
Right.
Yeah, and that was
They're getting
with
bigger.
you guys, and that was the day with that striper.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was with you guys. I got that on video, but I only have it from a stern cam. My bow cam didn't work, so I only have it from a stern cam. I got actually a couple fish of that. Sunset, be camping out, and this is I try to camouflage my tent, and it kind of works.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like debris. Yeah, and this was that was a 45. It was when Rob Troy came over that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started fishing there. So that was the first week of May is when that all started
smelled
up. Yeah, that's when we smelled them. I do have that video. I'm actually going to collaborate with him because he's got his video of that where he smelled them and I smelled the same. Yeah, it worked. It's pretty cool.
The collab video.
Yeah, wanted to do that. You see that? The washover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now the tent's not spray painted.
No, this is a different tent. This is a bigger tent. I ended up getting a 3-man tent from Eureka so I could sit up a little bit higher, had a little more room. We suppose when it's windy days, that's all the shade you have. That's kind of like your shelter. So if windy days, I'm just hanging out. Yeah, it's a different tent. And this picture, if you look on my website, this is the wind was blowing into my tent, so all this sand was blowing, all that fine sand that I was getting all blown into my tent was killing me. I was getting covered with sand inside my tent. So I would take my hatch and take the water and throw it up onto the sand, deaden it all out, so no more sand was blowing. So it gives me a little barricade, but I had to go way out because it was blowing like real hard that day. But that's something to do, and that helps out. And of course, then the wind shifts and it blows it another way too. And then the stripers started moving in, and had those couple of days that they were moving through. And I do have some decent video of that. You know, I have one that I'm gonna fast forward that it's just paddle, 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 school come by, cast, 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 paddle, paddle, because we're not at school, cast, 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 hook one or so.
This is like it was Windfest for my spring for the most part.
Yeah, I had a few days.
We had different days off and like a different time of the week.
Yeah,
that we can fish.
Yeah, it's completely different. I'm gonna be beginning of the week now, and you're still at the end of the week. But yeah, I had a couple days over there that I was able to go for 4 days. Right, and that was cool. That was really good. And what was interesting about that was how sore I was, because when I'm touring, I'm not fighting fish that are that big and not working that hard. Right. And my hands, by the end of 4 days, I couldn't even close them. It was hurt. I was so sore and so beat up that I couldn't even close my hands. And it was just from picking up fish, fighting them with the rods, and it was just a lot of work. Because the camping and paddling 15 miles a day ain't shit for me. I can do that. It's just the actual fight himself. You like that, just hanging out for lunch. Got my little chair.
Set your camera up to take a picture of you way away.
No, I'm not on it. It's me taking a picture of that. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's just a chair. Yeah. Yep. Small red, 36 incher.
Huh, babies. I saw a few of those this year.
Well, this was the week that they were right up on the shoreline, right? All the crabs were shedding, the calico crabs.
Right.
Like those sheds were everywhere. So these things were like right in the breakers, like right up against the breakers, and I could stand up and I could see move, but it was cloudy where you couldn't see it. And I remember I cast at one and I hooked it and yanked it out, and I missed them and made another cast, and then that one grabbed. It was like I had a bigger one and then lost it to a smaller one. It was one of those deals. But 44 that day, yeah, that was a good day. I had a good day that day. More striper. Yeah, Underwood. Me and Underwood had a clusterfuck. Had all those fish coming. We had a school of striper coming. We didn't realize how fast they were coming on us. Like they were moving super fast, and we started paddling for them. I forgot I had a
trolling. You should have just waited for
it. Yeah. I forgot I had a trolling rod out. I get closer to them, they close on us really fast. I'm like, oh shit, I got this trolling rod out. Oh, boom, we're in them. Chaos. He snags my line and all that type of thing. We end up catching back to them, but they were moving.
Then he caught a drum.
Yeah, it was drum first and then the striper. Yeah. Oh no, it was Galski's 50. It was a 49. I think it was a 50 incher.
That's a big fish.
Yeah, that was a big one. I think that was a 50. And that was cool because he was trolling. We were trolling along and we didn't see shit, right? So he hooks up and we go land that one. I think that was a small one, or maybe that was, I can't remember exactly where. I have it written down, but I'm not gonna read it.
Right.
I see something blow up, but I think it's a ray. But then I see the rest of the fish that's around it. I'm like, oh shit, we're about ready to get in them. And I make a cast and hook one on the cast. Well, actually, I hook one on the trolling rod. Right, so he passes. I hook one on the trolling rod. I'm reeling up, and boom, that gets hit. So now I got a double on. I fight this one. He gets off of the boat, which is fine. Boom, he gets off because I fought him all the way without getting tangled up. Gets off the boat, and I line that other one. But Rogalski goes and he gets this one, and that thing turns and just takes him for a ride for a ways. I mean, I'm like paddling. I've got a video of me just paddling with him.
They don't technically drag up enough.
Yeah. What, we get pulled around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tighten up tighter.
Yep. That's why I like using
come back on him and fucking
make
them turn around.
I like it because when I pull like this, I pull. It's that you use those rods I'm using now has the right leverage. They're comfortable enough where they're big enough where I can just pull and just get my leverage going. Like in the red. Ooh, that was a long story. I rode a lot that day.
Something about Tex was in there.
That's right. Tex was. Yeah, that was probably the best week. So the second week of May was probably the best week we had over there. That was the day I had 4 days. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
About that time, I can't remember what week it was when I went over there with my dad.
Yes. It was like right about the same time.
Any of those pictures in here or no?
No.
All right.
No.
Yeah, about that time, me and Rick took my dad over there. We've done that. We did that story though.
It's a real deal Eastern
Shore
fisherman there. Yeah. I just thought that was cool. I had to go take a picture of that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you catch them?
That was too late. They had the week before on that.
Oh.
And that was the week after that badass week. That was after the shed. So I don't think I caught anything that week either. Yeah, I just missed them. I had just missed them that day and that night. I didn't catch them. Yeah. But then that next week I caught 3, and that was that double.
Yeah.
The double that I put up last year. That video. Yep. Then the summer was missing cobia.
Missing cobia. I did some fishing around Rudy, and I fished a lot with Jay in the boat, not catching cobia.
Y'all had some good time. Y'all, especially at the time,
the end of the season.
At the end of the season, and on the pilings, we told those stories. Oh yeah, that was in September. Let me go down to the bottom. Start down here. All right, so this is just backyard fishing, right? So this is like summertime. I just start backyard. Yep, total backyard fishing.
Yeah, we did a little bit of that.
Yeah, especially when the season comes.
I met you back there. It's the daylight. We can do it in the evenings because we had daylight together. Occasionally, I would catch one. Occasionally, you would catch 1 or 2.
Yeah, and that was when we were fishing together a lot more. Was recently has been just the backyard stuff. The afternoons after because of course in the summertime we got more time and all that stuff. But we got to do that. So yeah, and flounder this year. I had a good year on flounder. I can't say I had a good year on flounder. I had the flounder I caught were good.
Right.
I didn't catch a lot of flounder. I just caught some 20 inchers and shit.
Got a question a few minutes ago about spring. Yes, we do talk fish in the spring.
Yeah.
I think the weather was bad. We didn't go out. The spring was pretty crazy this year. Last winter, while we were doing nothing last winter, I did a bunch of tog fishing out of the boats.
Yep.
And I caught a 14.5 pounder on the ocean wrecks. And then in the springtime, Rick and I got out there one afternoon in the boat, and I caught a 10.5 pounder on one of the islands. And we caught a bunch, in the spring. So yeah, when we catch a bunch of togs in the spring, and we do it. It's before
the drum. It's March.
So it's mostly March.
And the problem is it's windy. It's still a windy situation. We really don't get the opportunities. But I mean, a lot of the DVD footage is spring. Those nicer days where it looks like sunny. Those are spring days. The fall days are the ones that are going to look kind of gloomy.
When we're all bundled up.
Yeah, it's you can tell.
In the spring.
Yeah.
Short sleeve shirts and waders. In the fall.
You full on
dress
because
for
it's
winter
getting
waders.
cold. Yeah, at least the sun is warm on you in the springtime, and you can kind of see that. But you can see in the DVD we do that in the spring. But sometimes we just can't get opportunity, and it's a smaller window for us too. Because for me especially, I'm going to do that for that time period. As soon as the water hits 60, I'm gone. I'm on the edge of shore. So we get a little bit of opportunity. But yeah, that was at HRBT. One fish. Oh, no, I think I caught that one, and then I maybe caught a smaller one later.
Yeah.
And I was catching croaker. The croaker were just nailing my gulps, kicking the tails. And I was I caught that without a tail. I just left the tail off and said, fuck it, I'm just going to catch croaker. And he's large croaker, and that thing landed.
This is the week Mike and I went to, I see the picture next coming up. So this is the week Mike and I went to the jetty.
Yes.
Because me and you went the week after. So Mike and I went to the jetty, and he caught 2 or 3, really. Now, Mike P came down, and we went fishing, and he caught 2 or 3 nice puppy drum.
Yeah, and that's when we started going out and doing.
This is the next week. Yeah. You and I go out there.
Yep.
And on the first drop, I caught that red, and you paddled up next to me and dropped down and hooked up, and that's what you caught.
Yeah.
Striper.
And then started spade fishing, of course.
Yeah.
As soon as it starts getting deep, July.
I did some spade fishing too.
Yeah.
All I ever caught was small ones.
Yeah.
Never any giant ones.
It was later. I think it was later in the. Yeah, it was later in the year. Triggerfish earlier on. Yeah, I think later on because I was still catching. It's 13 inchers. That's where the main ones, and I started catching 16s later. That was a decent one. I think that was a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, we went that week.
Fourth week.
I was in that report, so we fished together that week.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
No, that was.
Oh, that was the week I lost the giant flounder.
Yeah.
Man.
I went back a couple weeks later and caught him.
Yep. Yep.
That was a big one too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was that 20-something incher. Yeah, that was a decent spade there. Yeah, that was Beckley's. Yeah, it was when we went out. Caught some more spades and stuff. That was a decent one. 16s. Yeah, so it was towards, just later on, 14s, Those are good ones. Yeah, Underwood. Yeah, so August. Yeah, starting to get into August. That was a good one. That's a good sunset picture.
Mm-hmm.
And some small ones. Yeah, spadefish. You know, I don't. That was like that. But there's you. That was you on that one. Yeah, I haven't been targeting the sheep's head much because I've been keeping some spadefish for eating. I'm not going to keep a sheep's head. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been kind of banking on catching a spadefish surprise. That's like,
right.
Eventually, that's going to happen. You know, that happens good enough. I didn't get one this year though. That was after work I was going to HRBT a lot this year.
Yeah,
I was going there and because one thing I did this past year is I started eating fish. I started eating better. I eat a salad every day. I started doing that every day. So what I was getting is frying fish with my salad, and that was my really good meal of the day. So a lot of my goals in going out this year were catching croakers, and we had 14-inch croakers all year long, right? I mean, we were able to catch croakers, big croakers. I was going out and targeting that and getting 2 or 3 for my next 2 days of eating my salad, and I was doing that a lot of going from work to HRBT, the Hampton side. And catching a lot of croaker and gray trout.
And gray trout.
And gray trout. And I feel so bad about that because I'm covering up because I gutted that thing. I snagged him. Yeah, he's dead.
Deceased.
No. He got eaten pretty fast. Yeah. That's why I was just, the sake of the picture I covered up is because I was jigging and I snagged him. Oh yeah, I went to Eastern Shore and caught some reds.
Yeah.
Yep. Me and you went over there.
Saw Damien.
Yes, that's right. Damien has one cast,
makes
one cast and hooks up with 2 reds right in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, you caught a baby striper that day, I think?
Yeah. Yeah, that was when the blow up happened right past us. Yep, and you made that cast. Made that cast on the other side.
Tip of the blue tip tail of that thing.
That's a good one. And it was cool because it was your shirt's blue, comes that cold front.
Yep.
I was so sore. I was getting sore after I went to yoga today, and I came back and my feet were sore. Like my actual feet, like bones were sore. I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Oh, that cold front's coming fast. So that's what. Yeah. Oh, so speaking of yoga, I saw Drew Camp, right? I saw him, and he's got the back brace on, and I was telling him, "Yo, practice yoga. After you get that thing off." And both of them looked at me like I was crazy.
Hey, you should do it.
It really should. I mean, that's what I was like. I was like, "Oh, I'm serious," but because what he has is like a stress fracture just from running, and it's just from being loose. If he tightens all that, I mean, that's yoga's core. Yeah. That's what the whole thing came up about me doing the. You think I could do a flag?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got rheumatoid core, but I don't think my shoulders will be able to handle it. That was all. All right, so.
Fall.
Fall was good for me. Well, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reds.
Fall was embarrassing for me.
Yeah, Mr. Cobia.
Yep.
Yeah, on the video, it was hooked by the hair of the lip.
Yeah.
It was really hooked by the hair of the lip. I mean, the video, it's dangling. And as soon as I grabbed the leader and just gave it a little tug, yeah, you got off. Yeah. But yeah, I mean...
You caught 7 that day.
Yeah.
7 drum. I caught 0.
And a cobia.
I caught 0 drum that day.
Yeah, I think I've caught 26 reds this year. Best year ever. They keep getting it. I keep improving my numbers. Best day I had with the 7, I caught 6 one year. Year before, I think.
Huh.
It was year before I went out. That was an awesome day because I went out right in late afternoon and just found them and stayed on them. Just stayed right with them. And I got all that stuff on video too. But that's the one. That's the 53-incher. And so now I've caught my longest, which is at 53. I still believe that one I caught with you, that 51.5, was the heaviest fish.
Right. Oh yeah.
That thing was enormous around. I mean, this was a big head. I mean, as soon as you come up and they see that big head, that's why on the video I said big head. That's a 50, just because the size of that thing's head. Yeah. And that was the first one, a 46. And that was the day before where I caught, I think, 5. Yeah. Caught 5 with Jay. Jay was out there.
Jay caught a few.
There's Jay, right there.
Yep. Oh, Jay was in the boat. Yeah.
Jay's right there in the boat. Yep.
Jay caught on the boat pretty consistent.
Yeah. 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 Man, I was just looking through the footage of this, trying to see. There's your flounder.
Yeah.
That was the pre-podcast 23-incher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I lost.
In your exact same spot.
The exact
that you lost
spot.
one. I mean, the exact same spot. I dropped the exact same spot where you dropped. But I kept going back there every time.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going by. And
it's not like a deep water, but this is a really shallow.
It's shallow, but it's some structure right there. Some pilings that are broken down into it, and
this thing lived there.
Yeah,
he used to.
Yeah. Yep. Reds.
And then I went out.
Specks.
Right before you started catching specks, or right around. Actually, you'd caught another big red. It was right after your big red stopped. I decided to go with Rick. It was a couple weeks later. Nobody had caught a drum in that area in a while. And Rick and I, a couple weeks later, decided to go out wading.
2 weeks later, like way later. Like
yeah.
it was a while.
Middle of October.
Yeah, middle of October, and hooked one and got a big one. And lost one.
We paddled out to not even the island.
Yeah.
And got out there, and we've gone over the story before, but cast it around for a little while, and as soon as the jig hit the bottom on one of the casts, it went thump, and I set the hook, and came tight, and I thought it was a drum, you know what I mean? But I didn't really. It took off alongside of the bridge, you know, level with the bridge, and then it made a turn, and I reached out to stop, put the reel in free spool, went back, and he had dropped the hook.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I was pretty sure it was a drum, but, you know, occasionally, like, the water's starting to cool off. Maybe it was a 30-some inch striper, you know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
because it was such a fast fight that you
it was literally like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So, the tide changes. So it's probably like an hour and 10 minutes later, make a cast, like the third jig, it just thump. And set the hook on that one, and as soon as I did, I felt it just buck and take off, and I knew right then exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And it took off away from the bridge, you know, and I got it.
Yeah.
That's the one I got real close to the boat, and it swam back towards the bridge, and I held the rod away from me, and it swam and couldn't get any further, so we just started doing circles.
Mm-hmm.
And we just did corkscrews like this. The boat just swam around. Rick was just like, what? I wouldn't let him get any line because he was trying to get near the bridge.
Yep. Tighten him down, stay close to him. Yeah. So that was really cool that happened. That you were able to get out there and happen to get on too. Really.
Yeah.
That was and right at the end. That's like right third week of October. I went over to Eastern Shore and found an awesome 26, 28 inch range fish. It was just nonstop. Tailors. I mean, it was sight casting awesome, and I had to walk out of there. I waited until it was the end. Yeah. Yep. And then this winter has been not a whole lot.
No.
Besides Tog.
I went sea bass fishing with Jay a couple weeks ago too. Shane hooked us up with some awesome areas for the triangles. I mean, the rec numbers are public, but he helped us get even closer.
Yeah.
So we circled around there for a while and fished a few different areas on there, and literally we didn't fish with bait all day except for when we put it on the bucktails and tried to get to the bottom, because everybody that was fishing bait anywhere we could see...
Just jigs.
Yeah, just jigs.
Yeah.
Because anybody fishing bait anywhere near what we could see was catching, like, babies. 3 at a time. So we were fishing Lucanus jigs, and we ended up with a dozen keepers and a bunch of fish that were really close, you know.
That's so cool you can catch them, like, with jigs.
That's a trout rod. I mean, it's a 3.5 ounce bait, but because you're dropping it straight down like that, you can literally put it on your trout rod, because all you do is reel it up slow.
Oh, so it's not even jigging action.
No.
Huh.
It's just a real slow.
Oh, I thought you would jig it.
Not the Lucanus jigs, the diamond jigs and stuff they do.
But the Lucanus jig, there's enough stuff on it where it looks like
It's
a
just
critter.
like,
I mean,
it's
I guess
made
it's just,
to bite. It's made for like slow bites for, yeah.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
But it tends to pick out the biggest sea bass.
Huh. Oh yeah, HRBT.
Yeah.
Fish HRBT together. Me, you, and Rick.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
That was a good night. Caught a couple striper. And we didn't see him on the light line. We had to catch him in the on jigging. Yeah. And then I went over there to you're togged or you're. So we're starting to get giant oyster toes now. So I measured one at 13. I said, okay, there's our set, right?
Right.
And then you go out and floor that one with a 16
the one I
incher.
caught the other day that Jay posted a picture of is 16 inches. 16 inches. We got a picture of it on the tape. It's 16 inches.
I mean, yeah, you got to be able to.
It could probably swallow that one.
Yeah, but 2 fists in that thing, right? I mean, that thing, huge. Yeah. But this is, I went over there with Andrea, and she caught her first tog. Luis has sea lice on his tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she caught her first togs. You know, that was her biggest 17 incher.
Nice.
Yeah, we both caught 17s. Mostly small, mostly under 16s. So it was like a lot of those. I think we caught 2 over 16s.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good day at the ships, and that's always fun at the ships.
And then the next time we went out, it was this trip.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with when you
I took off
there,
Rob.
We just recently talked about that one.
Yeah, well, that was the night that Rob came down,
Yeah.
and I decided the next morning when I got to work that I didn't want to. Didn't have anything to do, so I took a personal day and
It's me going out later.
Yeah. I had to use it before a certain time, so.
Oh yeah, there's my striper.
Small one.
Yeah.
You did the lead.
I did the lead this year. We got one.
That's right. There's one.
And then a couple weeks ago I went to the creeks and nothing, and made a drift and nothing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, just a quick review of the year. It was, it's just the years are how the fish are. You know, we haven't been going to Eastern Shore a lot because gas and cost is a lot of that. So we don't go there like as much as we used to just to go in the creeks.
And also because we used to fish with each other and be able to split it all the time.
That's right. And now now we have to go over by ourselves. When I go over now, I really in the springtime I only kind of go over unless I'm going to camp out. I make it a what is he going to take a picture of you?
No.
I make it make it where I go if I'm going over. I'm gonna make sure I stay over a couple of days to make the gas and everything worth it going over.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Anything on there?
No. Because I told Shane about the sea bass trip now.
All right. So I'm just going to kind of just go over a little bit details about this stuff because there's some stuff on here that's kind of neat that that's kind of detailed on here. So I'm throwing a 2-ounce jig head with a 6-inch giant gulp on that. So I'm letting it out, and I'm not chucking it real far. It's only a couple 10 yards, 20 yards, and letting the line out, letting it hit the bottom, and I'm bouncing it back. Jerking it real hard, bouncing it back, and making sure my drag is set enough. Now, as soon as I hook this fish, my drag wasn't set enough. As soon as I hook him, it pulls up, and then I go crank, tighten it down, and I lock down into him. So right now he's going to hit. I slide and then set, and I set the drag.
Right.
It slides, I set, and I stop. And so he's on the bottom. He's just holding. I bring him up to a foot. He goes back down a foot. He just lets some line. He just pulls some line, and I got it back. Now he's just slow moving out. He just wants to stay on the bottom. He's not even really going that fast. Yeah. He just wants to stay on the bottom. I get him up a little bit. And he's like, oh fuck. He gets back down again. Laughing at the boat because we were talking before. Jumping waves. Just staying on him. Actually, I'm trying to see which way he's going to go yet. Yeah, he hasn't.
Yeah. Bouncing jigs off the bottom.
And yeah, he's asking about flounder. They're targeting flounder, talking about they haven't caught anything that's
As long as y'all anchored up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If they were anchored up, it would have been sketchy.
Right.
Because then you have an obstacle that's way in the water, all the way to the bottom. It's at an angle that's hard to see. But they weren't, and that's And I think one guy asked a question about or made a statement is like I had patience with the boat, and I was like, well, there wasn't anything.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't any issues. The
boat's on the top.
Yeah, the boat was on the top. They pulled
under the water.
They pulled their lines when I started heading towards them. And so my only thing was I didn't want that fish to turn, make a cutback, make a typical red cutback when I was right beside that boat. Just because I didn't want to bang their boat. That was my only issue. And right before, now he got mad. See, now he's starting to get.
Well, we are yesterday.
But not yet.
And buddy of mine on the boat called a 24-incher.
Now he is.
Well, with
now
the
he just
jigs
ran.
For reds.
Now he's lunging.
Now he's got
Now he just picked up speed.
Now he got mad. Now he got real mad.
I repeat, Jay or Lee's.
We have a visitor.
You see right here, you see my foot's going in, but I'm trying to figure out whether or not I need to go. The boat's like right at me. We're heading like almost dead onto each other, and I'm trying to decide which way this fish is going to go. I'm trying to like, do I need to make a sudden turn to the left? That's where my left's foot is in, or is this fish going to keep me kind of veering towards the right? So, and I'm not trying to put a lot of pressure on him either. If I start yanking on him or really start cranking down on him,
He's really gonna do it.
Turn. He's going to turn, or he's going to go the wrong way. I mean, what I don't want to do is have him get right to the nose of the boat and then want to go this way and then keep going that way. If he makes a cutback, fine. But if he goes that way, then I'm going to have to fight him underneath the boat. Right? If I'm right next to the boat and he's still pulling me forward, I'm going to have to go underneath and hope that my line gets low enough that it doesn't hit the prop and the angle's right.
Yeah.
That was the only issue, was the prop, because they weren't running or anything. So that was the only thing. So right here I'm trying to decide left or right. I'm staying right. I think this fish is going to keep going to the right.
Don't know.
See, the foot's kind of, okay, now he's staying to the right. Now reel down, just try to stay with him. And we're all smiling because that was pretty cool. They're smiling. Now my arm's getting tired.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's the third one.
Yeah.
So now he's slowing down. He's starting to come up, and I'm thumbing my line. You see, so I don't have my drag so tight that it's going to yank me off, and that's also the reel that's not super tight drag. It's a 15-pound drag.
Also, don't carry your fucking puppy drum gear out here.
Yeah.
It's obvious where we're fishing.
Yeah, obvious.
Don't carry your fucking puppy drum gear out
It's
there.
deep. I mean, we're using
It's
boat
deep.
rods. It's boat rods, and
Use something you can catch them with, man. These fish don't need 100 fucking yards of line to swim around with forever.
No.
And we see so many people. It's just so dumb, the people that we see trying to go fish for these big fish with, if you know what you're doing, it's one thing, but...
Yeah, I mean, I finished this fish in 3 minutes.
Because, yeah.
I finished a 53 inches in 3 minutes, and it's a fun fight. I get all the thrill of it. I don't get any of the sketchiness of, is he going to break off? I get all the pull, all the lunges.
Right.
I felt every muscle that fish gave to me.
Right.
I felt every muscle that fish flexed, and every tail pump he pumped in the water. I felt it in the rod as he pulled me beside.
The fish doesn't need 15 minutes and to 20 yards of line on a rock somewhere.
Yeah. So now I'm working up now. Dumbing the line, just kind of working, do little pumps, and he's up at the top.
Woo! Big head one there. That's a 50 inch there.
You know immediately how, when you see that one, how, one's that size, how big they are.
Yeah, that's a 50.
And see, I know I got them hooked, so I'm not sketched.
Yeah.
I don't have to be sketched about it. I can grab the leader without worrying about it. And here I'm pushing him around. So I've got him beside me, and I'm using my foot to kind of leader him, push his body around to where he's facing me.
He's too heavy to. I mean, you could do the Jim Salmons if you want.
Right here, and see, he's too big for me. I know he's too big to just try to get him up with one
Do the
foot.
salmons.
the one.
No, heave.
Just the heave.
Salmons does the heave.
So right where I like that hand position there where I'm that close to the fish, where I've got maybe 8 inches of leader for my hand to the fish. Now, but in this position with my left hand and where the fish is, I would have to reach across with my right hand. I didn't like that. Now, because my shoulder was going to be too far ahead, and this is a big, heavy fish, and I don't want to be sketched landing him.
Right.
So I reset my hand, but it's too high, right? That's too high. If I do this, I'm doing this. So I'm using a lot of shoulder. I'm trying to grab the fish. That's awkward. So I reset my hand position. I let go of that. I get my hand right at that same spot, right? So I got my hand exactly the same spot because see how I have this? So I'm using my full arm and my body without crossing my shoulder across my line. So I'm over on this side now, right? So it's that whole balance and division, and I'm close enough where I got the fish, and it's not like this. It's like this. I'm in a comfortable position. It's all like real comfort. I get underneath the gills, or not the gills, but the gill plate. And you know what it looks like if you haven't seen us deal with reds before, we haven't dealt with reds before, where we're sticking our fingers in the gills. It's not that at all. There's a lot of space in between.
Yeah,
the
there's
gills.
a big, and there's a pocket, literally a pocket.
It's got the handle. I mean, you really, if you stick your fingers up underneath the gill plate, gill's down here, gill plate's up here, underneath basically what would feel
You're
like
right behind the bone, literally.
It feels like your jawline, and there's a pocket that's right up underneath your chin, and it feels like this spot in your chin right here. And it's deep enough that you can fit 2 fingers in there, deep. I mean, like, yeah.
Right, here we go. Here we go. Okay.
Now the issue is when you're handling that, and you have that your fingers in that spot, when you're taking pictures, if they flex their jaw, I mean, it'll crush you.
Yeah, and also like twisted. I mean, you got some twisting action. Like
you're really, when you're holding that spot, you're really connected to that fish.
Yeah.
It's a secure spot, but just be a little careful.
It's safe.
It's really safe. See, that was also kind of a good spot.
It's really fast.
Yeah, I slowed it down. Yeah, see how I have my hands? Yeah, the gill's under here. That's the dark part of the gill plate underneath, and I have my fingers kind of up in that direction. So now I have them locked in. I've got him, and even though he's thrashing around and all that stuff, I have my hooks in his head. I have 2 hooks. I have my jaw hook, and I have my fingers hook in him. Then cradle his foot and bring him on in.
Wow, that's a big one.
Now the measuring tape is this measuring tape that we make. I mean, I've made a video. I made a video of it.
53.
And
53.30.
my put in about that being a 59 pound fish. Didn't feel like that. It wasn't that heavy. You know what I mean? Just with those girth, it was big. It was probably in that high 40s, but it wasn't. It might have been 50, but it wasn't a 60-pound fish. So here's what I'm doing. I'm getting him back in the water. Right, I'm getting him back in the water because I'm gonna set up my cameras and so I can take pictures of them. But I'm getting him in the water first.
Also known as live baiting for bull sharks.
Well, we don't have that big of an issue with them around here yet, anyway. So I got my camera set up. Now I'm bringing them back in. Same thing. Making sure I got a grip. Taking that off just to be able to get him in. Because now he goes off. Now if I didn't have my fingers in his handle, he'd have been all the other side, right? I would have had to try to bear hug him to get him back in. But since I had my fingers in there, I was able to keep control, and it's keep control of the head. It's the whole idea, is keep control of the head, and I put him right back down again.
Yeah.
Questions or anything on that?
No.
So yeah, handle, right? Control the head, handle, spin the head towards you, cradle with the other foot.
And front and
Okay,
center.
no, she's not blocking the TV, so she's good. Yeah, so, yeah, all control of the head. That's one thing with big fish is you get control of the head, you don't get all this floppiness and sketchiness and stuff. So you get your shots. And I take a bunch of shots and then I get them back in the water again. Just trying to save my breath because I knew I was going to have a long day. Now this is an Ultra 4.7. This is the 15, the big boat. So if you have one of these, you can see where it's actually at.
Right.
Because that's the craziest thing. You don't realize how big that is until things in your lap and you put it in perspective. So yeah, get control. I had control of his face, right, the whole face, and get him in there. And I'm cradling him. So I've got his body even with my leg. And while I put
shark food,
while I put the poker grip on and get him back in the water again. Now the thing is, I'm not just paddling forward and leaving him upside down while he's sitting there. I'm paddling forward, but I reach down, one arm paddle, and make sure he's upright. That's like the most important thing about reviving these fish. Now the issue is these fish.
Topwater lure.
These fish are topwater shark lures. The issue with these fish, they're coming up from 40 feet deep. So they're having bladder issues. They're having air bladder issues because a lot of guys are releasing these things and they're not going down. They're not reviving. They're not floating out of the bay. Boats have an issue with it because they can't really get in the water. They have to lean over the gunnel. It's a lot of work. I mean, there's a lot of work dealing with fish on Rick's boat compared to how easy this is. But as kayakers, we can do this, and it's really the safest way to do it. And I even offer boats to revive their fish because we can do it better for them. So I get going, I spin him upright, get him upright, and I just paddle him around like that. Now, because you think
Walk
about
the dog.
Yeah, you walk in and he's
Right, left.
And this has been the best way. I mean, the best way. Every one of these fish that we've done this way has revived and kicked off just like this. I mean, no floaters, no belly issues. I mean, it's just been perfect. See, I'm not even going for his tail just to make sure he doesn't roll up, but he kicks down. I look to the other side, make sure he's down, he's not coming up behind me, and I just caught the biggest one so far.
Personal best.
Personal best. Like this.
Yeah.
My new, with the waves, took me about a half hour to get that. Get it just right, get that coming up.
How many waves did it take?
That was the first one. And the others that I was just trying to making sure I had it good. I had the back, because it was zooming in and then pulling out with the wave coming in. So that wasn't like done afterwards. That was all done right then. And so that was, How much time we got? All right.
Yeah.
Any questions? Any more questions on there?
I didn't. Not as of a couple minutes ago, but I'll check now. What have we been on? Like a little over an hour?
We're fine. But I want to show you the fights while I got them. I want to show you Cerrone's fights. If you guys probably know I'm a UFC fan. If you're a Facebook friend, and I also have if you are a fan of the fights, we have a fight page that a bunch of us get together and we just where we talk the fights when they happen. It's called Fish Fighting Fight Fans on Facebook. So that's. But I just want to show you while I have the pay-per-view from last night. Cerrone is one of my favorite fighters. It's just his style, his stand-up style, and even his grappling. His all-around game is awesome. Anything on there while I try to work on this? It's taking a little bit. There we go.
Screen was really whited out the whole time.
See, I was thinking, but I'm not sure if it is on the regular
YouTube.
Yeah, on the YouTube. If that is, then I'm gonna try to. I tried to bring the contrast or the light down from it. Maybe it was bleeding out a little bit. See, it is a little bit on here. See that?
Yeah.
But it's not so much on there, and that shows a little bit more clearer
Right.
on there. I'll find out at this and I'll try to fix it. Yeah, more clearer, and I'll try to fix that and see where
Too
the
much
issue is.
interneting.
I think it might be just too much color, too bright. I was trying to bring the
No, I'm
darkness.
talking about to the computer right now.
I just got this thing. This was my work computer. I just got it on the internet, and it's been like backed up on upgrades and stuff. Yeah, it's working. It's trying to.
Uh-oh. So, John Jones beat up Cormier pretty bad.
It was pretty good. Yeah. The thing is, he's just so big.
Who did you want to see me fight?
I want you to see Cowboy. Cowboy
Which is-
fight before this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing is Jones is so big and so long, you just can't get around it. And
Right.
and Jones is, Cormier's big. He looked like a small kid. I mean, he makes people look like kids.
Right.
He really makes people look like kids in there size wise, and it's crazy. It's so crazy, and I was just I don't think anybody's got anything for it. I mean, besides Gustafson, because Gustafson
Right.
was the same height.
But,
He was the
and he's
same-
hurt right now.
No. He got hurt. That's why he didn't get this fight. Timing switched out. Now he's got another fight with a badass dude. Rumble Johnson.
So if he
He's
wins
fucking
that, he'll go
killer.
back against
yes,
John Jones.
He should get another fight with John Jones. Yeah. not live. Well, what's funny about this fight with Cowboy,
I saw the fight where the dude got knocked out right in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the only one I saw.
That was the pay-per-view. Yeah, well, not the pay-per-view.
Before, that was on TV.
Yeah, that was on TV. Thing about Cowboy during this fight, so afterwards, at the pre-fight, the post-fight interview stuff, he was talking about. Cowboy always gets a knockout of the night, some kind of award for the night, extra 60 grand or whatever, right?
Right.
And so he got frustrated with this guy. This guy's stand up was really good. He couldn't get his kicks in. He was winning. There was no time he was losing the fight, but he just couldn't get his highlights. He couldn't get his money, right? But so at the end of the fight, he gets pissed off. He actually just gets mad. Right, he's just getting mad at this point.
So we're watching the end of the fight?
Yeah, I just want to get you to the end. We'll get to the last round. Well, this is the last 15 of the second. So he's just not connecting. Another guy's getting out of the way easy. He's starting to get frustrated.
Who's winning?
Cowboy's winning at this point. He's just walking him down. But it's Jeremy's just kind of getting away from him. The other guys, not Jeremy, but he's just evading. He's evading him a lot, And Cowboy's getting angry that he's not getting his highlight, his money. And we're not showing it because we wouldn't be able to be on YouTube if we showed this on there. So we're just watching it. See, now he's picked up speed. The second round he was kind of slow.
Yeah.
That jabbing, he would get you underneath the ribs. Yeah. He's trying to get his head kicks in, he's getting pissed. He hasn't really hit him with anything yet. He hit him with a couple of jabs, some jabs, but he hasn't got anything significant happen yet. He's been trying to do, he's getting angry. Kick again.
Jeez.
Yeah. Boom, another leg kick. Look at his legs when he gets a chance. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. He just kicked that spot again.
Yeah. But what Cerrone's trying to do right now, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, low kick, and he's going to throw a high. Right? He's going to get you reaching for that leg, low and down, and that's when he catches dudes up top. Leg kick, body kick, leg kick. You just stays low, and you start to get a used to it. Every time he's going in that direction, you start doing this. And now the first round, the other guy took Cerrone down because he wanted to stop his stand-up, but Cerrone's so badass on the ground, he was defending the whole time. Cerrone was just going after shit. He was like, God damn it. So he's like, he fucked up his whole game plan.
Right.
He figured he was going to go down and look at his leg. This Frank getting frustrated more. Boom!
Oh!
You caught him with the foot.
Yeah.
You caught him with the foot. That was the only thing. You just caught him with the foot. But it was the only significant strike. Caught him with the foot, but he, yeah. So now Cowboy's on him. Okay, now at least I got a strike in. Let me just try to take him. Now he's trying to take him down, is just pissing him off more.
That was a big shot in the fight by Absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be pretty. But he hooked him with the foot. He didn't hit him with the shin. He got him with the foot. So he's trying to walk him down, trying to get the spots.
Good right hook there by Jury. Jury connected, but then the answer of that head kick from Cerrone.
Run away.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
Oh.
body there by Cal Black.
It's a good body punch.
Good jabs.
Yeah, it certainly is. Another nice leg kick by Cowboy. Cowboy coming up strong. Another one. Good sprawl.
Body,
Taking the fight to Michael
body
Jordan.
shot, face, leg kick. Ah!
Just walking around.
Yeah.
Hitting him.
Yeah. The dude keeps running. Just running away from
The
him.
outside that left leg is nasty. He's in full hunt mode right here. He is pushing forward. Again, attack stop. Attacks with that switch. Miles pushing very hard here for the takedown. Donald Cerrone known for having lethal legs.
Punching him under.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the elbow here. Boom.
Good elbow
Yeah.
by Donald.
Leg.
Look at the leg of Miles Perry. Oh, this is nasty.
Like, fuck this. Get up, dude. He's getting angry now. Look at this. It's like, man, I ain't getting my money. I'm not getting my Christmas, my fight bonus.
Biggest fight of Miles
Boom.
Perry's life.
He wants to knock out of the
He wants,
leg.
yeah, he wants, yeah, he wants it. He wants the fight of the night, knockout of the night, which he gets every time.
Right.
He gets it every time.
Trying very hard, but Donald's defense is really on.
Now he's pissed. Watch this.
Miles Jury made very
Yeah,
well.
last 20 seconds, he's mad as fuck.
Telling the world his future is not now. Radical to the left. Oh, my goodness. Those are the That's an angry Donald Cerrone. That's a guy who he felt his teammates
That dude kept running away from him the whole time. He's like, I'm gonna chop
Picks
this
him
dude's
down,
legs up.
throws him down, and just chops his legs. Just beats the shit out of his legs. You see his wind-ups?
Yeah.
Like soccer kick winds up. Throws him down. At the press conference, and they asked him about that, he said, oh, the fuck you kicks. That's what he's talking about. He was pissed off that he couldn't get everything off. He couldn't make his connections. Yeah. Yeah.
So he won every round.
Yeah, he won every round. He won that one. Yeah. But yeah. All right,
The
guys.
recap footage is not on YouTube. The recap footage is because Kevin subscribed to the.
Oh, talking about UFC?
Yeah, he bought the
Yeah,
pay-per-view,
I
so you
buy-
can watch it for.
I buy. Me and Damien split it. We like he'll watch it this morning. I'll watch it that night. We buy it off of UFC.com, UFC.tv, and you get it for 24 hours. That's the coolest thing. It's like when you buy it off a pay-per-view, you only get it for live. But we get it for 24 hours. All the fights are on. All the main card fights are on there. There's multiple camera angles and shit like that. It's worth it. It's totally worth it. It's the same price. Same price as the pay-per-view. All right, cool guys. Thank you for watching. And I know there's a few of us. There's a few hanging out just for that.
How many is it?
4 now.
Yeah.
People drop out. It'll die. Well, yep. Thanks for yakattack.us and check out my website kayakkevin.com. And we'll see you guys next time. We're doing a lot more shows this year. And thank you guys. We'll see you.
All right.